friends, welcome to the video. Today we are boiling sap to make maple syrup. So we've tapped our maple trees. This season so far has been really short. When you tap your trees, you want it to be 40 degrees during the day and 20 degrees at night, and have that consistent swing throughout the week. And we've only had about 1 week of that consistent swing. Next week it's going to be 50 and 60 degrees during the day. It's too warm. So what we've collected so far are 2 4.5 gallon buckets, and we are going to boil them down into syrup. Okay, so what we're doing right now is we are boiling the sap, and we're trying to boil out all of the water in it, so that all we're left with is the sugar contents of it. So this takes a few hours. Since we only have 9 gallons of sap, what is normally a full day process will probably be just a few hours. I think last year we had 30 gallons of sap, and it took probably 12 to 14 hours to boil it down until it was syrup. Since we only have 9, I'm anticipating a much shorter day, which is good. So we'll just let this go for a while. We'll keep adding to these warming trays, and then until both buckets are empty. And I'll check in with you guys later. Be asking is, why aren't we boiling this sap in the house? If you've never done it before, it might seem like something to do, especially if it's a colder day like today. Why would you want to freeze your buns out for hours and hours? Well, much like when you cook bacon on the stove, there's like a greasy film that covers your cupboards and the stovetop. Sap is like that too. You walk away with like a sticky, slightly syrupy film all over your kitchen, and so to avoid that, we boil sap outside. Plus, it's just nice to be outside. After a harsh winter, one of the first nice days of the year. I think a lot of us are chomping at the bit to just be outside and breathe fresh air and get out of the house that we've been stuck in for the past couple months. So that's why. Boil outside, and your kitchen and your future you will be much, much happier. So what we decided to do this year, normally since we have so many gallons on a normal year, we'll just keep filling these 2 metal warming trays with our sap and just let it boil and boil and boil and boil and keep adding and adding. And but this year we decided to try to make smaller batches. So the warming tray back here is our first batch, and so we're letting that boil down, and then we will move it to the propane area over there where we will finish it off and allow it to get to that 219 degree syrup point. So this next part, where we've taken what was in the back tray and we've moved it to this pot here, you can do this inside your house. Basically, it's boiled down enough where now you just need to get it to 219 degrees or 7 degrees above boiling point wherever you are. And a lot of people do this part in the house. We normally do in the house. Because it's that last step, and you just have to keep a careful eye on it so that it doesn't get too hot, so that basically your syrup doesn't burn. Another way to know that it's at 219 degrees is when it really starts to just bubble. An explosion of bubbles is a kind of a good way to put it. Otherwise, you can rely on a thermometer to kind of tell you when you're there. 219 degrees or 7 degrees above boiling point for wherever you live. here we go. Here's our finished product. We got 5 cups of fresh maple syrup. They say it's about 40 to 1, so 40 gallons of sap equals 1 gallon of syrup. That's how I understand that math. It's a pretty easy process, as you saw. It takes all day, so we choose one of the nicer spring-ish days in March. And today was a little chilly with the wind, but it's beautiful and sunny and nice. So it's just nice to be outside and watching the sap boil away to make delicious, beautiful maple syrup. So if you have any questions about this process, feel free to leave them in the comments. If you have comments about how you have your own maple syrup making process, I'd love to hear about it. And thanks for watching, and I hope to see you next time, either on the run or on the farm.